La Marque is the metro station at which we get off. It is possible to get here with line M12. La Marque Couloncourt, just as the station is fully called, is still in the district of Montmartre. We want to visit the Saint-Vincent Cemetery. It is only a short footpath there, but first have to orient us in daylight. Some steps are sporty to be mastered. Once you have arrived at the top, walk to Rue Saint-Vincent. There is the entrance of the cemetery.
It is a small cemetery for Paris. It is located on a sunny slope in the middle of Montmartre events and is almost unknown. Tourists leave it on the left. Here are mainly the family graves of the long-established inhabitants of this district. But artists and painters have also found their final resting place here.
We are interested in the tomb of the painter Maurice Utrillo. Like no other, he could capture the atmosphere of La Butte, the Montmartre district. Maurice Utrillo died in 1955 at 71 years.
Associated Press has recorded the funeral in a film with great sympathy of the population because Maurice Utrillo was a child of Montmartre. Who was the Parisian artist?
The story of him is above all the history of women. His grandmother, with whom he grew up, his wife Lucy, after whom he named his house. And then there is a woman, in many respects the most important, his mother, the muse and painter, Suzanne Valadon.
She was only 18 years old when she gave birth to Maurice in December 1883. The biological father remains a secret to this day. Maurice was given the name of the Spanish Miguel Utrillo, who was officially named a stepfather. He was in a relationship with the mother at the time. At first, Maurice grew up in the north of Paris. His mother had moved there, but initially hardly cared for her son. His education was in the hands of the grandmother, but she had not equalized.
He started to drink early and had to be interned for alcoholism at the age of 17. His mother, now a recognized painter, gave him a brush in his hand to prevent him from drinking. Around 1905, he began to paint seriously. He finds his motifs in the landscapes north of Paris, and especially on Montmartre. It is the place of his preference. Again and again it pulled him there. His painting is considered naive and poetic at the same time and is based on purely self-taught training. Miriam Berning, curator at the Museum Schirn in Frankfurt, characterizes the Montmartre in the time when Maurice Utrillo grew up there.
The rest of Paris was modernized in the 19th century. It was industrialized. All this was not yet timely on the Montmartre, much later. It was really a dark place. The police did not get up the narrow streets. She did not dare to take action against the gangs at night. It was a place of thieves, but it was, of course, also full of wild images, and artists saw it as a suggestion. They wanted to show real life, reality. That was the new in art.
Unlike many of his artistic colleagues, Maurice Utrillo has never enjoyed a classical painting education. Critics and collectors love his original, almost raw force. He often staged the urban canyons and street views with only a few, but all the more virtuoso brushstrokes. His pictures do not dissolve in color landscapes, they keep a clear, formal strictness. He also uses a lot of sand and plaster to give the pictures a light, flooded atmosphere.
Around 1900, there were about 40 cafes and variétés on Montmartre. Paris came to Montmartre to enjoy exotic entertainment venues, so to speak. It is now only a historical place. One sees these picturesque little streets. You can see the Lapin Agile, this variety where you can still go today in the evening. It is tiny. Hardly any variety in Paris is so small.
Suzanne Valadon was a pretty woman. At a young age, including the muse of Auguste Renoir and Toulouse-Lautrec. With them, she had love affairs. A fatherly friendship existed until her death with Edgar Degas. With the considerably younger painter André Utter and her son, she led a collaboration and working after the First World War beyond all bourgeois conventions.
They lived in a studio on Rue Cortu on Montmartre, today part of the Musée Montmartre. The bond between Maurice and his mother never tore off. The painter expressed his deep connection to the last painting in his signature, namely Maurice Utrillo, supplemented by a large V such as Valadon, for belonging to the mother. In 1924, he exhibited his paintings for the first time with Suzanne Valadon, also with great attention to the public.
However, the wine is said to have always stood in the way of his creative urge. His later wife Lucy was forced to close the alcohol in the closet, so that he did not drink more.
Influenced by Impressionist painters and works of his time, his subject forms a clear counterpoint. In his most important period, the white phase, he mixes the colors generously as usual. So the pictures are with a light, flooded atmosphere. His poetic interpretations of the streets and squares contributed to making the romantic image of the Quartier Montmartre popular to this day.
Already in 1929, he received the Cross of the French Legion of Honor from the state. On the occasion of his 100th birthday, the French Postal Service posthumously issued a special stamp in December at the end of the 1980s. Maurice Utrillo does not have such a large fan base in Germany, such as the Impressionists Claude Monet or Pierre-Auguste Renoir? Perhaps it is because many art critics in this country criticize his paintings as too naif. But if you love Paris, you can like it.